Federico Chiesa for Mason Greenwood. How does that sound? That is a possibility according to Juventus. Meanwhile, Lazio too have someone they are willing to offer to get Manchester United's best player. Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb. Here is an early morning update concerning the biggest football club in the world. Like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into this talk. Now, there are two big updates that are coming through. One is coming in from a credible source in Italy, Gazzetta dello Sport. They are saying that Juventus are willing to offer Federico Chiesa in exchange for Mason Greenwood. Now, let me tell you, honestly, 4 years ago, that would be exciting news for me to hear, because I thought at the Euro 2020, which was won by Italy, Federico Chiesa was one of the best players. Well, I think one of the most exciting footballers to watch in that tournament. Besides Donnarumma, their goalkeeper, who turned up and indeed was the best goalkeeper for the tournament, I thought Chiesa was balling. He was outstanding. But since then, unfortunately, Chiesa, a good player who is back down to the national team, we've seen him be man of the match in Italy's first game, but has not played full 90 minutes at all for Italy in this Euros. But the reality is, I think Chiesa was a very good player. His speed, his animation, his energy, he was such an exciting forward. He would disturb people, but you realize now that he changed his style of play. The Chiesa we saw in the Euros in 2020 is different from the Chiesa we are watching now at the Euros. Not because he is less skillful or he grew so old, no, he's only 26, but because he got a terrible injury way back in 2022. That saw him out for a long time. That only he returned in 2023 after nearly 10 months out with a ligament cruciate injury. Very bad injury to get in football. That saw him out for a long time, and it affected him badly. That's why, well, he may not have entirely lost his speed. Of course, he's a little slower, but his aggression, his mobility, his movements, his daring, he's not as daring as he was before that injury. Now, do you tell me, for me now, that I would be moved to hear that Chiesa is coming to Man United for our best, in exchange for our best player, in exchange for Mason Greenwood? Perhaps not, because yes, whereas he's fit now, probably he's not injured. I think for me, he's not at the level where he was. And the Chiesa of 2020 is the comparable Chiesa to Mason Greenwood. I would have compared him to Mason Greenwood. But this Chiesa now, for me, is not really, wouldn't be the most exciting direct swap deal. So, and ACL injuries, by the way, are not injuries that you really get over completely. I think they always come back. That's why you can see now that his time is being managed. He's not playing 90 minutes. You see, Spalletti pulls him out with about 30 or 20 so minutes to play in games. I don't think, for me, that's a Mason Greenwood level of a swap deal for a player. So, not that Chiesa is a bad player. I think his fitness issues, for me, would derail us from getting the best out of him. And yet, with Mason Greenwood, we must get the very best deal, in my view. So, for me, I do not back that swap deal 100%. But Juventus are contemplating, according to reports, credible reports from Italy, are contemplating offering him. I wonder why clubs are doing everything to try and minimize, the expenses to get the best player at Man United. It baffles me, because I'm thinking, if Man United are valuing this boy at 42 million pounds, clubs should be waking up immediately to pay that money, because this boy is worth 100 million pounds, but clubs somehow are hesitant. And I'm thinking, if you're not coming all out, if you're coming with some bit of control, you'd rather chill it. Listen, even Lazio are putting together a plan. Now, for Lazio, I can understand maybe they can't afford a 42 million pounds, but I still think they can. These Italian clubs have money, they just don't show it. They're just not as fancy as these English clubs, but they do have money as well. But Lazio are contemplating swapping, bringing a goalkeeper, the Greek goalkeeper called Christos Mandas. He's a 22-year-old goalkeeper, probably unknown to most, and 15 million pounds. That's their deal. So, meaning, if we go by Man United's valuation of Mason Greenwood, which is at about 42 million pounds, so it means they value their goalkeeper Mandas at about 27 million pounds. So, really, is it worth it? Because if they're saying they're giving us, this is again a report coming in from Italy, that Lazio want to offer 15 million plus Christos Mandas, because I think they have heard that Man United is most likely going to lose the backup goalkeeper to Onana. But for me, but that's buying deal. But for me, does it match up? Is Mandas, this unknown goalkeeper, worth 27 million? Think about it. Think about it. Still, it doesn't make sense as a swap deal. The Chiesa deal, it can be, because it's 26, of course, slightly older than the ideal age for an Ineos player. But the Chiesa deal would partly make sense if they were offering more cash, like maybe 20 million, not 30 million, or thereabout. Give us Chiesa and more cash. Yes, Greenwood is that good, but this Mandas deal for me does not make sense. Again, it's still undervaluing rather, Mason Greenwood. And going back to Chiesa, because it's probably the more serious one, really. That can spark debate, because I've seen people divided. Some saying yes, we could take the deal. Others are saying no, 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 no. But listen, I don't remember how many Italian footballers have come to the English Premier League and shown. I think you would struggle to count how many of them. You can remember players like I think Zola. Zola, I think, is the last Italian player to come and shine. Maybe some people can speak about Jorginho, but I don't think he was an exceedingly exceptional player. I think he did not shine exceptionally. So I really think Italians also struggle a bit, and I don't want to use it as a blanket statement, as a general jinx, when it comes to these Italians. But I mean, history repeats itself. For some reason, these Italian players, I think, find it comfortable playing back home in their country. They don't really. Balotelli, because of his head, probably could have shown exceedingly well, but perhaps his head let him down. You can remind me of how Italians perform, but I'm not exactly moved or convinced that Italian players really. There is something, maybe the style of football they grow up around is rejected when they come to when they come to Italy. Besides Zola, you can struggle. You can struggle to pick names. Let me try to see. I don't want to be let down. My memory could be letting me down, but I don't know. Let me see. Jorginho, I think, tried, but Zola performed. Angelo Ogbonna, would you say excelled? Perhaps not. Paolo Di Canio maybe tried back then. Sandro Tonali, that one is gambling left, right, and center. Benito Carbone, Mario Balotelli, like I said, tried. Roberto Di Matteo at Chelsea, maybe. Those are old players from back then. I mean, you don't see a lot of these Italian players. Federico Macheda, flop of the century, probably. Gianluca Scamacca, these ones are unknown. Andrea Silenzi, Matteo Ferrari, Diego Di Rama, Enzo Maresca, the current Chelsea boss, David Ancelotti, Vito Manone. I mean, you can struggle. Italians, I mean, and the Premier League, I think it's not really their thing. So yeah, that's where we are. Give me your take. Do you think Manchester United should be taking this swap deal? Give away Mason Greenwood to get Federico Chiesa. They are both wingers. We probably need a winger. Is it worth the gamble? Give me your 2 cents on that. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.